Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, once the most powerful couple in Hollywood, faced an 8-year separation defined by legal battles and deep family conflict. In May 2025, when the turmoil seemed to have calmed, Brad re-emerged, breaking his long silence in a rare interview and revealing things the public had never directly heard from him. "Not a bit. I've been trying to get a racing movie done for 20 years. I tried bikes. I've tried cars. I've tried different disciplines. I've tried Le Mans. And, for whatever reason, they never heard." In 2003, Brad Pitt met Angelina Jolie while working on the action film Mr. and Mrs. Trapped of Film Smith, directed by Doug Liman. "Don't help me, sweetheart." All day. At the time, Brad was married to Jennifer Aniston, while Angelina had recently ended her marriage to Billy Bob Thornton. Rumors of an affair surfaced during filming, causing the media to closely watch their every move on set. After Brad and Jennifer officially divorced in 2005, Brad and Angelina were photographed together in Kenya with Maddox, Angelina's adopted son. That moment marked the birth of Brangelina. Over the next decade, Brad and Angelina became one of the most followed couples in the world. One where we get to see each other after we've been gone all year and off doing our projects, and, we get to catch up with each other and have a laugh. They adopted 3 children from 3 different countries: Maddox from Cambodia, Zahara from Ethiopia, and Pax from Vietnam. They also had 3 biological children: Shiloh, born in 2006, and twins Knox and Vivian, born in 2008. Their diverse and relatable family image led the media to call them Hollywood's model global family, right up top. In 2008, they purchased Chateau Miraval in the south of France for $28 million. It wasn't just a vacation home, but also the birthplace of their Miraval wine label, which entered the premium market after 6 years. In August 2014, Brad and Angelina held a private wedding ceremony on the chateau grounds. There was no red carpet, no paparazzi, no celebrities, only close friends and their 6 children, who served as witnesses. The picture of happiness soon collapsed. On September 19, 2016, just 2 years after the wedding, Angelina filed for divorce in the Los Angeles Superior Court. The legal documents cited irreconcilable differences, but according to leaks about an incident on a private flight from France to the United States a few days earlier, the real reason involved Brad's alleged violent behavior. According to documents submitted by Jolie's team, Brad was accused of drinking on the plane, followed by a verbal argument, a physical scuffle, and grabbing Maddox, their eldest son, then 15, by the neck. Some sources claimed Angelina tried to intervene but was unsuccessful. The FBI quickly launched an investigation because the incident took place in international airspace. At the same time, the Los Angeles Department of Child and Family Services also got involved. After several weeks of review, both agencies concluded there was insufficient evidence for criminal prosecution. Angelina chose not to pursue a further investigation, but the incident became a global media firestorm. Their divorce wasn't just the end of a relationship, it was the collapse of the Brangelina image, a symbol the Western media had spent a decade crafting. Behind the allegations, the silence, and their 2 diverging paths, a growing divide emerged between them and the children who once called them Mum and Dad. The war that never cooled down. Immediately after Angelina Jolie filed for divorce in 2016, the court temporarily granted her primary custody of the children. Brad Pitt was allowed visitation, but only under strict supervision. The initial goal was to protect the emotional well-being of the 6 children. But in reality, it opened up an 8-year custody battle that left deep scars on the father-child relationship. Maddox Jolie, the eldest son, was the first to distance himself from Brad. In 2021, Maddox testified in court with statements described as not favorable to Brad. According to U.S. Weekly, Maddox bluntly stated that he no longer considers Brad Pitt his father. In documents never widely released, Maddox reportedly requested to change his name to Maddox Jolie, though Angelina did not confirm this request. Pax, the second son, reacted even more strongly. In 2020, Pax posted on his private Instagram account calling Brad Pitt a awful person and accusing him of making the children tremble with fear every time he entered the house. Although the post was quickly deleted, its content spread widely, raising public concern about long-standing emotional wounds within the family. According to the Daily Mail, Pax was involved in 2 consecutive traffic accidents in 2023 and 2022, which led to emotional instability and required close monitoring at home. Shiloh, the first biological child of Brad and Angelina, once symbolized the love between the two, but by May 2024, she filed to remove the Pitt surname and use only the name Shiloh Jolie. The petition was approved by the court in August 2024. Her legal representative, Peter Levine, confirmed that the decision followed a series of personal events that had a profound impact on her. This move was regarded by international media as the most definitive statement from the children in choosing to side with Angelina. In 2024, Vivian used the name Vivian Jolie when working as a producer on the Broadway musical The Outsiders alongside her mother. Though unofficial, the name was documented in the program's credits, suggesting alignment with Shiloh's decision. Knox remains shielded from media due to his minor status. Throughout the legal battle, Brad Pitt maintained complete silence in the press, never refuting the allegations from the children. Still, according to a source from his legal team, Brad repeatedly proposed family therapy sessions to repair relationships. Some sessions were held under the supervision of mental health professionals, but they did not continue for long. Over the years, the court took a complex stance. In 2018, a Los Angeles judge warned Angelina that she could lose custody if she failed to support Brad's efforts to reconnect with the children. In 2021, when a preliminary ruling allowed Brad shared custody, Angelina immediately objected and requested a change of judge, citing financial conflicts of interest. The request was approved and the entire process was halted. According to CBC Canada, the final divorce agreement was signed by both parties in December 2024, but the custody terms were not disclosed. Based on the children's public actions, analysts believe most of them still live full-time with Angelina. While Brad has not been able to maintain regular contact, Dr. Mark Banchik, a post-divorce psychology expert, commented, "When a divorce drags on long enough to overshadow the children's entire transition into adulthood, the consequences extend far beyond family relationships. It may shape how they love, trust, and behave in future relationships." While Angelina continues to attend events with her children by her side, Brad is often seen alone. The 2015 images of all 6 children hand in hand with him on the red carpet now exist only in public memory and archival articles from global media. The family bond has been stretched to a point of no return. But it didn't stop at emotions. Once trust is broken, what follows in the spiral is money and ownership. The lawsuit pushed conflict to a climax. Chateau Miraval was not only the residence of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, but also a symbol of their golden years. Located in Provence, France, the estate was purchased by the couple in 2008 for approximately $28 million. Initially, Brad held 60% of the shares through his company Mondo Bongo, while Angelina owned 40% via her company. After they married, Brad transferred 10% of his shares to Angelina, bringing their ownership to an even split. Miraval was more than just the site of their intimate 2014 wedding. It was also a renowned winery with products sold globally. From 2012 to 2020, The Miraval wine brand they co-owned became one of the most sought-after rosé labels in the European and American markets. According to the drinks business, annual profits from this product were estimated in the tens of millions of dollars. After Angelina filed for divorce, control over shared assets became a new flashpoint. In 2021, Angelina unexpectedly sold her entire stake in Chateau Miraval to Tenuta del Mundo, a company owned by Russian billionaire Yuri Shefler, founder of the Stoli vodka brand. The controversy stemmed from the fact that she completed the transaction without informing or consulting Brad. In February 2022, Brad Pitt filed a lawsuit against Angelina in Los Angeles court, accusing her of violating a prior verbal agreement between them, which stipulated that neither party shall sell their shares without written consent from the other. The lawsuit described Angelina's actions as deliberately damaging, hostile, and personally retaliatory. Brad claimed she knew he loved Miraval and used the asset as leverage while their divorce remained unresolved. Angelina responded with a counterclaim, accusing Brad of coercing her into signing a non-disclosure agreement (NDA) before the sale, aimed at preventing her from revealing conduct that led to the divorce. In legal documents filed in 2023, her team characterized Brad's demand as controlling, manipulative, and an ongoing attempt to silence the voice of his former wife. The lawsuit grew increasingly drawn out and legally complex. Brad's camp argued that Angelina's sale forced him to work with an unfriendly foreign partner, while Angelina's side insisted she had the legal right to proceed. Since Miraval was a limited liability company registered in Luxembourg, the dispute moved beyond the realm of emotions and became a commercial showdown where the language was no longer familiar but contractual. As of June 2025, the case remained unresolved. A source close to Brad told The Washington Post that he wants to regain full control of Miraval to continue production without interruption. Meanwhile, Tenuta del Mundo confirmed that they will not relinquish ownership and are prepared to further invest in the brand regardless of the ongoing shareholder conflict. The current estimated value of Chateau Miraval and its wine ecosystem has surged to around $500 million. Financial analysts describe it as one of the most intricate internal business disputes to ever arise between two Hollywood stars after a divorce. The combination of emotional, international, legal, and commercial elements has made the case a focal point for both the media and investors. According to Chris Melcher, a California-based attorney specializing in high-profile divorces, when love falls apart and shared assets are worth $500 million, every move becomes less about affection and more about image, interests, and control. After years caught in litigation, Brad Pitt had remained publicly silent about what truly happened. But by May 2025, for the first time, he stepped out of the silence, and his first words were enough to make all of Hollywood stop and listen. On May 28, 2025, Brad Pitt made a surprise appearance on the cover of GQ magazine, marking the first time he officially spoke out after 8 years of silence since Angelina Jolie filed for divorce. The article spread rapidly across media platforms within 24 hours of publication. Brad spoke about finalizing the divorce agreement in December 2024, calling it something that needed to be done, and stated bluntly, "No, I don't think it's a big deal. It's just something that was legally completed." When asked why he stayed silent for so long, Brad responded, "I didn't see the point of speaking up when everything was in chaos. I thought it was best to stay quiet." Silence is also a way to not make things worse. Brad's comments stood in stark contrast to the very public legal moves made by Angelina Jolie over the years. From filing the initial petition, objecting to judges, selling asset shares, to filing counterclaims, Angelina had largely taken the lead in both the legal and media narratives. In contrast, Brad had practically vanished, appearing only in legal documents from his attorneys or in paparazzi photos. When asked about his relationship with the children, Brad remained cautious but acknowledged the distance. "I think that can change or not, but I'm always here if they need their father." He refused to mention any names specifically. He simply said, "No one gets married thinking their kids will turn their backs on them. But I don't think we should put the blame on anyone. What happened, happened." In another section, Brad revealed he had been completely sober since 2016 and now maintains a daily routine of meditation, reading, sculpting, and living a quiet life. He said, "After 3 decades in the spotlight, I just want to step back. I'm tired of being torn apart in the media for things I've never been allowed to tell from my side." Some said he appeared clear-headed and measured, while others felt Brad continued to avoid responsibility in parenting. Brad has finally spoken. But as one door closes, another life begins. Away from the spotlight, away from conflict, and possibly away from what was once a family. Brad has maintained his status as one of Hollywood's leading figures. He continues to run Plan B Entertainment, the production company he co-founded in the early 2000s. Under Brad's leadership, Plan B has delivered a string of Oscar-winning films such as 12 Years a Slave, Moonlight, The Big Short, and most recently, Women Talking. His newest project, a Formula One-themed film in collaboration with Lewis Hamilton, is set for release at the end of 2025. Produced by Apple Studios with a budget exceeding $130 million, the film is expected to mark Brad's return to major box office roles after a long hiatus from leading action parts. In parallel, he has become increasingly selective with his projects. From his lead role in Ad Astra 2019 to Babylon 2022, Brad has gradually shifted toward portraying quiet, introspective, and layered characters rather than the familiar charismatic archetype. A source from the Bullet Train production team told Variety he's no longer someone who wants to do every good script. He only takes on roles that reflect where he is now, private, deliberate, and not trying to please anyone. In his personal life, Brad is currently dating Ines de Ramon, a Swiss jewelry designer and former wife of the Vampire Diaries actor Paul Wesley. The two were first seen together in late 2020 at a Bono concert in Los Angeles. In 2024, they attended the Venice Film Festival and the British Grand Prix together. According to People, Brad proposed to Ines in early 2025 with plans for a private wedding in Europe during the Christmas season. Although Brad has not confirmed the news, several close sources insist this is his most serious relationship since Angelina. Rather than attending high-profile events, Brad now lives at his estate in Santa Barbara, where he spends most of his time sculpting, reading, and gardening. In a brief interview with Architectural Digest, Brad described his current life with one word: enough. No noise, no explanation, and no need to prove anything more. Meanwhile, Angelina Jolie remains a regular presence in international media in her roles as a director, producer, and humanitarian. She recently took part in producing The Outsiders on Broadway, where her daughter Vivian serves as a creative assistant. Previously, Angelina directed Unbroken 2014, By the Sea 2015, and First They Killed My Father 2017, all clear markers of her shift from acting to creative leadership. She had once expressed a desire to leave the US after the divorce, but ultimately stayed, because the kids need stability. Observers note that the near-total silence from both sides throughout the first half of 2025 suggests that most disputes have effectively come to a close, even though certain legal filings like the Chateau Miraval lawsuit are still pending in court. Attorney Chris Melcher told the BBC, "When there are no statements, no new filings, and no indirect jabs, that's when a divorce truly ends, even if no formal announcement is made. Still, the distance between Brad and his children remains an unresolved void. Angelina has not shared further updates on the family's situation since the events of 2024. Shiloh continues to go by her new name. Pax has not returned to social media, and Maddox, now studying in South Korea, has not been seen with Brad since 2016. To the public, this signifies a break that appears beyond repair. Brad Pitt stayed silent for 8 years, and when he finally spoke, he neither defended nor attacked. One statement was enough to bring closure to the noise that once rocked all of Hollywood. What do you think of this journey of what was lost and what still remains? Leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss more stories that are raw, layered, and powerful like this one. Thank you for watching to the very end.